Who out there has a total crazy story that basically proves to themselves that everything's happening at once and we're living in this, illusion life created by our feelings and emotions and our thoughts and our things and just crazy. So years ago, my bestie and I were going through what I'd like to call the beginning of the awakening to those facts or whatever, awakening to so many more things. I had come home, and I think it was from work, and there was a balloon in front of my home, and I could feel to the core of me that it was some type of sign. Just the way that it's set. I looked at the string it was on, and it was cut. And so I believe I was on the phone with her at the time of this. And I was telling her, and it said birthday celebration. It just said celebration is what. And I said, this is a sign from something. I don't know what it is. But I said, I can feel it to the core of me that this is a sign. Like I said, years ago. So I said, it's a sign of some sorts. And she's like, it's she felt it too and everything. And so I knew she would remember this moment in time. And like I said, I could tell that it was cut. And like I said, years ago. So recently, if you're watching any of my videos, I just moved 2 times in a year, actually. It's not even, I think today's actually the year date. I moved twice. I moved on this date, and then I've already moved again. However, none of that's oblivious to anything. The house that I was living at, I had lived for 17 years. So when I was moving out, my daughter's birthday was in January. And when I was moving out, I had taken her balloons that she had, which said birthday celebration. And it was a weird thing with how the balloons came about too. But that's a whole nother story. So I got these balloons. They were in the house, and I'm packing and moving and just kind of moving stuff around when I was called to put them outside. And then as I'm sitting there, I kept seeing this look so familiar, this balloon. And then I was called to, and I had kind of forgotten, like I said, it's many years ago, lots of stuff has happened. And I'd kind of completely forgotten that, but I was called to put this balloon in the sky, let it go. And I was scared. It's like a bunch of balloons actually on, but anyways, that doesn't matter. So and then I was called to let it go, but I was scared to let it go because I didn't want to cause any ruckus or harm with the plane or people or anything. They do a lot of parachuting around where we were, and or just whatever. But then someone said, no, you have to send this balloon and you have to cut it. So I cut it off. I cut it and as I'm cutting it, I'm having flashbacks to it, to seeing it at my house many years prior to this. And I'm like, you know how you're like flashing, like, first of all, you're like, why am I doing this? A. B, why am I so called to do it? Because I didn't want to do it. It was like all day long. No, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. And I was like, I didn't know if I was putting like a sign out to somebody that was having their birthday and they've asked for a sign. I didn't know why or what the calling was. And then, like I said, as I was like, okay, I've got to cut it. So I was cutting it. And as I'm like having flashbacks, and then as I let it go, that's when it dropped in. Holy shit, I sent this balloon to myself. And I received it already. And I don't even know how to tell you how much this has blown my mind. And I was so thankful that I had told my bestie because she knew, and so she was able to witness it with me. But it was like, we're giving ourselves signs, y'all. We're telling ourselves. And so it dawned on me like, holy shit, just a different dimension. That balloon just went to the other dimension. But I could feel it in that dimension, even though it hadn't even happened yet. It still came to me. So that's wild. I'm going to share it. I'm throwing it out there. I know it's crazy. Has anything like this happened to you? Have you blown it off? Maybe you have. Maybe it was meant for you to pay more attention to it, because it opens just opens that mind up so much when stuff like that happens. And Like I said, I didn't know why I was being called to do it, but I knew I was being called to do it for some reason. And it was a huge calling that wouldn't quit. And so it just feels like I was letting myself know it was okay to jump. It's okay. Everything was going to be okay. Even though we went through a lot, we still ended up okay. It's just crazy how connected we all are to each other and to ourselves and to all the other selves that we're playing out all at the same time. What? That means there are multiple versions of us constantly playing out. Anyways, if you have any crazy story like that, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it.